Hello, YouTubie. We're going to do a general overview of LSD. I'll call this heroin in a nutshell. I might not call it that, I don't fucking know. Basically, I'm just going to ramble on about LSD for about 10 minutes until YouTube won't let me upload anymore. Actually, that's about 15. And then you're going to enjoy it and watch it, and then you're going to not go do LSD because it's illegal. Or hypothetically, you will do LSD. That's hypothetically speaking. But this is fairly accurate information. I'd say about at least 90% accurate. Which doesn't sound high. That's really fucking high. Just because I research just about everything before I do it. And I've never done LSD. I've done LSD. I've done LSD. Actually, I've only done LSD once. But I learned quite a significant amount from it. And I would probably definitely do it again. Actually, not probably, I would do it again. But it's hard as shit to find where I live. It's very psychedelics in general are very fucking hard to find where I live. I find lots of where I live. It's heroin and crack, which is fucking and yayo. Call it yayo, so cocaine. Cocaine hydrochloride, so powdered cocaine, not crack. Snortable cocaine, which I wouldn't recommend doing. Anyways, LSD. Basically, it's lysergic acid di-ethyl-mide, LSD. Its chemical form would be C20H25N3O. Like most psychedelics, it has a heavy molecular weight. But it's LD50, which, if you know what that is, it's a lethal dose 50. So in a population of, I don't know if they've ever done it on humans, but they're estimating on humans, if they give a human, we'll put it in terms, 1,000 tabs of LSD will kill 50% of humans. The other 50% will survive. That's what LD50 means, that in a population of some species, 50% of them die at this dose of this drug. In LSD, it's about 1,000 hits of LSD will kill you. That is fucking ridiculous. If you're done LSD, you know that like 4 is like you can't even I mean 1 and you probably can't drive. 1,000 is like, I don't even want to know what would happen to a human. That's like a cruel, like, dying would be like a good thing after that much LSD. I mean, like, that's fucking ridiculous. So basically, you can't OD on it. 1,000 LSD is probably more. 1,000 hits of LSD is about the amount of hits of LSD that John Lennon took in his entire life. And that's John Lennon, like the OG hippie. He took LSD every single day for a year straight. Yes. So he estimates about 1,000 hits of LSD. And he quit cold turkey because he didn't want to do it anymore. Because he stopped because he had too many bad trips. Proving that LSD is not addictive. Also, LSD, there's no study ever that will find LSD to be addictive. More addictive than like chocolate. LSD is generally considered to be less addictive than chocolate by most pharmacists and medical experts that don't have a biased opinion. The DEA will say otherwise, but if you listen to the DEA, you just don't listen to the DEA. They're full of shit. The DEA is going to tell you everything that's false, and everything it will tell you to not do any illicit drugs. Any fucking thing they can. It does not matter how immoral or how low they have to go. They will tell you anything to get you to stay away from illegal drugs. Even if the drug is completely harmless. Like, for example, caffeine is more addictive than LSD. Significantly, like, several times more addictive. Like, I'd say at least 4 or 5 times more addictive is caffeine than LSD. That's a good range. We'll go with about 3 times more addictive. Caffeine is about 3 times more addictive than LSD. I'd say caffeine is at least twice as addictive as marijuana. This is a general range. So LSD is about 75% the addiction potential of marijuana, which is really fucking low. So the main effects of LSD are going to be general psychedelic effects. It's a pretty strong psychedelic on a scale from 1 to 10. 10 being DMT, 1 being pot. It's about a 6 or 7. depending on the dose. At about 4 hits, it's about a 7 or 8. At a threshold, like a 1-hit dose, it's about a 5 or 6. But I mean it's pretty strong psychedelic. Most psychedelics have very similar effects, just varying intensities. Like most drugs of the same class, they have very similar effects. LSD is going to make you hallucinate, and when I say hallucinate, it's not like, oh, I'm like flying a kite, and then all of a sudden the kite morphs into butterflies, and I'm a butterfly. Like that usually doesn't happen. That's not how I describe it at all. It's more that you sit there, and everything you see changes. It gets all trippy and psychedelic and shit. It's not like okay, it's not like you see your shoe and you see it just fucking fly away. That doesn't happen. Okay. Stuff like that's not like you see your shoe and the colors will get brighter and change and morph and stuff like that. Like that's what I mean hallucination. It's not like you see things and just shit comes out of fucking nowhere and like bats just come out of the fucking wall and no, like that doesn't happen. Okay. Another main effect of psychedelics in general is synesthesia. Synesthesia is having a sensory input come out the wrong sensory output. So for example, seeing smells, hearing tastes, burping colors, smelling words, eating sounds, stuff like that. That is called synesthesia. Now, that's a very interesting experience. You realize, at least I believe that it happens to some degree naturally. At least to me, I'm probably a different human than most other people. Actually, I am a different human than most other people. And I can't prove that my existence is the same as other people's. So, really, I don't know. Key point. But I do believe that there is some small degree of synesthesia, because it's not going to be as impressive as you think. It'll be very impressive, but then you'll realize that maybe you feel it in everyday life. For example, I don't know how to describe it. Yeah, that's the best I can describe it. Another main effect: abstract concepts go away, or at least diminish. So ego boundaries. I'm not going to take this time to describe what an ego boundary is because I won't be able to. So if you want to know what an ego boundary is, look it up on Wikipedia. Wikipedia, I guarantee, is probably just as accurate. See, most studies will say it's as accurate as any encyclopedia, like World Book encyclopedia. So anyone who tells you Wikipedia is full of shit is lying. They don't know. Wikipedia is very, very accurate. Like, if I go on a Wikipedia article and I know a shit ton about the topic, just from experience, I could tell you it's about 95% accurate at the very minimum. And usually the information that's wrong is very close to the truth. Anyways, back to LSD. Ego boundaries diminish. Ego boundary separating you from other objects diminishes. You feel like other objects. And that's a very psychedelic, it's a very spiritual experience, feeling that. That's something that every human should understand, I feel. That's a spiritual experience, just in itself. Diminishing your ego boundaries. Diminishing time is another spiritual experience, because everyone just takes time for what it is in this world. Like, no one takes the time to think, what if time didn't really exist? That's another spiritual experience that you'd have to do LSD to understand, or any psychedelic in general. And I'm not saying do psychedelics, but you know, because legally I can't say that. I don't even know if legally I can, but I'm just not going to. I'm not going to take the risk, because I don't want to be held accountable if someone goes to take psychedelics and comes out a fucking window, which likely won't happen. But it is possible, and I don't. Lawsuits aren't fun. So time still exists. You just don't group it into days, minutes, hours, seconds, years, millenniums. You don't group it into that. It's just there. That's the best way I can describe it. And it's like being stoned times 100. That's about what LSD is in a nutshell. And it's gonna make your skin feel amazing. It's gonna make you super fucking happy. Likely. However, you can have a bad trip. it's unlikely to have a bad trip. Especially on LSD. LSD is, you're less likely to have a bad trip on LSD than pretty much any other psychedelic. Except maybe pot, because I mean, it's just so unintense that you really can't. But LSD, of any like psychedelics, if you really consider psychedelics, LSD you're probably least likely to have a bad trip. Or some analogs of LSD or mescaline, 2,5-IS-2-CB. You're unlikely to have a bad trip on, just because they cause this profound euphoria. And this euphoria is not an addictive euphoria. It's different from a crack euphoria. It's different from a heroin euphoria. It's a serotonin euphoria as opposed to a dopamine euphoria. So you won't get addicted to this type of euphoria. And that I can pretty much promise. I will promise you, you will never get addicted to LSD in your entire life, no matter how much you take. I promise. So that's the main things about LSD. It's like ecstasy. It'll make your skin feel amazing, and it'll make you really fucking happy. Which to me took away from the spiritual experience, actually. I do not like that effect. That's why based off of effects profile, I prefer psilocybin, aka mushrooms, to LSD. But yes. Anyway, gauges at 6. Hey, look, it's a 6. It's the number 6. Anyways, video over. That's LSD in a nutshell. Goodbye. Gute Nacht. Kalinichta. Bonsoir. I can't think of other languages now. Buenos noches. There. I just said goodnight in 5 different languages just now. Anyways, goodbye.